Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go do a podcast?
Sure.
Jump in.
Ladies and gentlemen, fillies and genticles, dragons of all ages, and everyone else, welcome to Pondering Pony. I'm your host, John, and with me I have my co-host. You know Jay's not a tree, right?
I'd like to be a tree.
Yes. Anyway, this is a podcast about toy media franchises, 2000s nostalgia, and whatever else we want to talk about. And this week we're back to talk about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 1, episodes 21 and 22. Yes, we have a bit of an infamous one this week.
Yeah,
Controversial.
I'm curious to hear a bit about this. Season 1, episode 21, Over a Barrel. This is, I believe, the one you're referring to as controversial.
Yeah.
This was released March 25, 2011, directed by Jason Thiessen and James Wooten as co-director, written by Dave Polsky, animation by DHX Media and Top Draw Animation, art direction by Rid Sorensen, music by William Anderson, and song by Daniel Ingram.
Yes. The plot of this infamous episode is the ponies are taking a train to transport an apple tree to Applejack's family in the town of Appaloosa when it's attacked by a herd of buffalo. And the buffalo make off with the tree, and Rainbow Dash flies off after them, and Pinkie Pie in tow. And Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie are captured by the buffalo. Captured, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Who explain that the Appaloosans established an apple orchard on the land the buffalo need for their ritual stampeding. And at Rainbow Dash's urging, the buffalo agree to meet with the townfolk to negotiate. And the townfolk refuse to move their orchard, so the buffalo decide to come back the next day and stampede both it and the town. Yes, thanks in part to Applejack and Rainbow Dash taking over negotiations. And Pinkie's in there for some reason. Anyway, the next day, the town folks throw apple pies to try and defend themselves. And a pie hits Chief Thunderthoobs, and on tasting it, he has a change of heart. And so the buffalo negotiated an agreement to cut a path through the orchard for the buffalo and give the buffalo a share of the apples and pies. And it's all a happy ending. No connection to any real history here.
Yeah, I guess the ponies are doing colonialism now. I guess I shouldn't say now because this has clearly been going on for a while.
Yes. It is a classic cartoon story that this is... Yeah, the 2010s definitely was a shift where people started to notice, hey, maybe these stories aren't so good.
It's not even the 2010s. It's like this was stuff in the 90s that, with like Dances
but they were
with Wolves,
but cartoons were still doing these type of
yeah.
stories. And yeah, the 2010s they kind of just started to step away from it, and this was kind of the last semblance of that era.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
Once even knowing like the tiniest bit about of the actual history of the American frontier, like, yeah, this is the way it relates to real life, and specifically the message it tries to make from that just are very frustrating. Because in real life, the Native Americans were forced off their lands by settlers, like we see here, and they either fought back or were given these unfair treaties, which were then sometimes even broken. So yeah, we see this play out here as well. The Appalachians have showed up, claimed land that wasn't theirs to claim, and are trying to keep the buffalo from taking it back. And rather than being portrayed as villains, they are framed as, they're just, both sides are just as bad here, according to the way the episode frames it.
Yes, in the episode, it's framing that the Appaloosans have no idea what the buffalo are there for. It's like, what? Why are they attacking our trains? Nobody explained it to us. And then
we just showed up on this land and said, "Oh, this looks like a nice place to live."
And then started
when the people who live here came in and were like, "Hey, you shouldn't be here. This is our land." We were like, "Oh, whoopsie! What do you mean?"
Well, apparently they never communicated to begin with. They were just taking down the apples, and so it's again, communication is the key to everything. And here, nobody communicates. even when they
Uh,
try to. Ugh.
yeah, yeah. I mean, using buffalo as the standards for Native Americans, like there's there's stuff going on there. I don't know. I don't know why that decision was made, but it is like especially ironic because the in real life the settlers hunted the American bison almost to extinction, quite
I
famously, and
mean,
like even the connection to the trade, like they were often hunted from trains, um, and that was a because so many of the native populations relied on the American bison. That was a very difficult and yeah, it was this thing, this colonial thing that was coming in and taking up resources and land. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird to see a an episode take that and clearly have some familiarity with the history, but then decide that the takeaway from this is actually everyone should just compromise and get along.
I, s- I think they wanted to start with a premise on compromise, but then I don't
Yeah.
know what they're why they decided to do this direction. I don't necessarily mind the buffalo, but like when they put that story with the buffalo, it's like, oh well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's a yeah. I mean, I don't know what fully went on behind the scenes. I know that the script had many revisions.
Oh, yeah, I saw. I looked up a little bit, and they had a consultant come in and
Yeah,
be like, "Hey, here's what you need to change." I would be curious what the original version of the episode was if this is the changed version, because this does not feel particularly nuanced in how it's approaching the situation. And part of it is that we've seen this type of story, like this is the current main plot that animated movies tend to go for. Like Frozen 2 has aspects of this, of like a culture taking over, or entity or something taking over land that isn't theirs, um and then trying to, I guess, yeah, colonialism, as like the characters now have to deal with some type of colonialism or some social ill that has happened. There's a recent one where it's a bit of a spoiler, but honestly, if you know anything about these movies, it isn't that much of a spoiler to say that. But I won't say which recent animated movie it is that does this. But it is like every animated movie now is this thing. So to then see this version of it, which is like, no, actually, the colonialism is fine. The the buffalo just need to get over it and learn to like apples.
I don't know why they're trying to build an apple farm in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
apples don't grow. Apples, from what I understand, apples need seasons.
hmm
You need winter for apples.
it's, it's I mean that's a funny concept, but still I don't. There's some stuff to enjoy in this episode, but it's overshadowed by I don't know negligence.
Or just like a lack of thinking things through to the degree of like of of which they maybe should have been thought through. Even just like, because yeah, I actually I like the idea of, hey, let's do a Wild West episode. Like westerns are a fun genre, and they're a fun genre to parody because they have such specific and codified tropes. So when they're on the train heading into this western town, I'm like, oh, this is so exciting. And this herd of buffalo show up, and I'm like, oh, interesting. Oh, what is that they're wearing? Oh, huh. This could very easily go very wrong, but maybe they'll pull it together. And then continuing
Nope.
on, so it's like, nope, nope, they're not going to pull this together. This is just what it's gonna be. Uh,
Yeah, it's kind of like the sanitation of history in children's books. Yeah,
yeah,
because we had that one history class where our teacher's like, "Hey, let's read this children's book of like Christopher Columbus coming to America." It's like, "Oh yeah, they were very friendly uh, with the natives, and the natives just wanted to go check out the New World instead of what the actual history was." And it's like, oh, that's that's kind of what this seems like. I don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like it does fit in because this is a show for kids, and it is perpetuating these narratives that kids often encounter, um
Yeah, I'm
of
sure
like,
kids encounter this. Yes.
yeah, of just like, oh yeah, everyone needed to learn to get along. It's like you're missing a lot of perspective there.
Mm-hmm.
There's more going on here that maybe needs to be unpacked further than just, oh yeah, everyone needs to get along. It's like, no, that's there were some very big wrongs done by the people who were coming in and trying to settle on land that wasn't theirs. I think there is a version of this episode which doesn't touch any of that and is just like a fun little Wild West parody thing that could be fun.
But somewhere someone decided
Well,
maybe we should
yeah.
like abridge history not so well.
I think it's coming from this thing of like, oh, we need this to matter. We can't just do like a Wild West parody. Or as you were saying, it's starting with, hey, can we make a story about compromise? Then, oh, what are, what's a famous duo of like groups of people who are often pitted against each other in fiction? Oh, we'll do cowboys and Indians and we'll have them do compromise. It's like,
Buffalo and ponies. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's, oh boy, there's more history there than just what the classic 40s and 50s westerns would have you believe.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is interesting as like, because I am fascinated by the western genre and its like current iterations, and pretty much any western nowadays is either like about the Native Americans or doesn't even like mention them beyond just like maybe some supporting characters. So to have the message of this would be like, oh, everyone should just get along. It's like, oh, this, even within the metaphor you have constructed, even within the world you have constructed, that is not what should be happening here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, that we don't need to belabor that for too long. I'm sure smarter people have are smarter than me have talked about this better than I have.
Yeah, nobody respects this episode that much. I mean, there's some jokes to enjoy, like the flutter tree and
Yes.
other. Yeah, Dave Polsky is a comedic writer, and so
Yeah,
watching
he
this,
does a
like, there's a
good
lot.
job with the
There's,
jokes.
yeah, there's a lot of really funny jokes in here. It's just in a very unfortunately framed story.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Characters here, I guess Rainbow Dash comes across very well here because she is the one who sees things from the perspective of the buffalo and is like, actually, you guys are right here, and kind of
Hmm.
takes their side. Of course, the episode tries to frame that as like, oh, she should be more willing to compromise. And she does, like the negotiation scene, she does sort of talk over the people who are actually there to do the
Yeah, like
negotiation
I
part.
was wondering if like, oh, that's gonna be a part of like the theme. It's like, we shouldn't speak for others, let them speak for themselves. But
Yeah.
nope, they just ignore that completely. It's like, oh, so neither Rainbow Dash or Applejack really learned from that experience, or neither, like, yeah, they should leave out of this conflict and let the people who actually matter like speak, because Brayburn seemed to actually be reasonable, but he wasn't
Yeah.
allowed to actually communicate with Stronghoof.
Yeah. No, the like mediators were definitely not mediating well. They weren't
Yeah,
even really mediating. They were just
nope,
speaking.
they're arguing at each other. Yeah, again,
uh,
Applejack being the confrontational one.
yep. Uh,
uh
Pinkie Pie, she becomes a bit of a stooge for the colonizers. Like her song, in addition to being annoying, is the message is not right now, Pinkie Pie. This is not the time or the
take
place.
take the song out of the context of the episode, and the message is a happy message,
Yeah.
but in the context it's not so much. I like this song. I don't really think it's annoying, but
Okay.
yeah, in the context of the story, it's like, oof, yep, that's.
Also, why is she dressed like a brothel madam?
I mean, Western.
I know. Why is a character in My Little Pony dressed as a brothel madam? This gets into the thing of like there are certain things that I guess this is just like the costume. So if you are to wear, then you are to wear. But there, you don't need to do all the Western tropes because you're doing a Western episode, you're allowed to not do some of them.
But that hey, like because she's doing the burlesque. Sorry,
Yes,
not quite the burlesque dancing, but the stage
she,
dancing. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's it's an interesting choice.
I mean, the kids are not gonna notice, but hey, it's for the adults. Hey, if they're
Yep.
watching this, they're like, oh, ha ha, she's wearing the brothel, madam. Design.
As for the other ponies, like with the racism episode, I am a bit disappointed in everyone.
Yeah, I don't know what Twilight's doing. Just kind of, she's there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
sort of the middle perspective, which in this episode is not the perspective you want to be, because the middle perspective isn't like it's either we're going to do a lot of colonialism or a little colonialism. The middle perspective of oh we'll just do a little bit of colonialism isn't necessarily the good
sure.
perspective here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Spike is just hanging out with the buffalo, getting
Yes.
free food for them.
Yep. Oh, you have in the notes here Flutter Tree. Is this the discussion about?
Yeah. No, Flutter Tree. It was the discussion on the train. This became a one of the early fandom memes. It's like, Flutter Tree. That's so funny. And so there's a lot of drawings of Fluttershy as a tree, or I want to be a tree, or whatnot. There's a whole song about this as well. Man,
Oh.
man, the fandom was interesting,
Oh,
but it was a fun. That scene itself is really fun. The lighting of
yeah.
that scene is like very unique. That's it stands out for being the only scene that has that type of lighting, and it's like interesting. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. As for the buffalo as characters, when they showed up and they're wearing the headdresses and everything, I was like, oh, this is because we only see this show do that kind of stuff for when it's trying to bring in allegories for real life cultures, and they're always rooted in like very specific stereotypes that aren't necessarily don't have anything to do with modern things. Because we saw this with Zakora as well, that she has the tribal masks, and it's
Yeah,
it's an it's a thing that is like it could be handled well. I don't know that it is.
I think it's a fun design choice, but when you make that an important aspect of the story, then
Yeah,
you're treading on not great territory.
yeah.
So, yeah, the Buffalo from this point on uh don't have speaking roles again.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
not surprising.
yeah,
It is a little bit like I don't know. Each time they bring in like a new racial group that is specifically racially coded in this way, it's just like what are you even doing here? Like I thought the idea is that these are ponies, so like anyone can relate to these ponies, but then you're like, oh, but these ponies are like the
Anyway,
anytime we depict another culture, it is like clearly a different species than the pony. It's yeah, I have
yeah.
questions about how that's handled. But yeah,
Mhm.
I do like overall. I do like the Wild West setting. I think it's a fun new visual palette. They do a good job with just sort of the visual aspect of it.
Mhm. Yeah. Gets us out of Ponyville.
Yeah.
Fun new location.
Yeah, I almost wish that this had been that the episode had been more focused on, hey, let's do a bunch of Wild West gags
Hmm.
rather
Yeah.
than, hey, let's try and be about something.
And yeah, there is some Wild West gags going on
Yes,
here.
yes.
Um, yeah, no, we will revisit Appaloosa one day in better episodes.
Okay, okay.
um, I guess better as in less controversial. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. On to animation errors. These two images are based on the same thing. where the
Okay.
characters they have saddles, and some frames they don't have saddles, some frames they do. So again,
Oh, yeah.
the inconsistent extra element that's included.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. I was so focused on rarity and what was going on with the strap, but then it's like,
Y-
oh yeah, no, Applejack is just missing a saddle
yep,
inserted.
yep. She's missing a saddle. Performances. Let's see. We got a few new people. Michael Dangerfield is Brayburn. He's Brayburn. He's energetic.
Yep.
Ah, Appaloosa. You got Aaron Matthews as Little Strongheart, Scott McNeil as Chief Thunderhooves, Brian Drummond. We've seen Brian before
Oh yeah,
as the
yeah,
sheriff.
yeah. Performances, they're
Yeah,
performances.
their performances.
No, you said you liked the song. I think for me, I like that it's different than some of the Pinky
Sure,
jingles.
I'm in the minority in liking this song because I think most
Okay.
people don't care for this song, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't find
I
what's
think a lot of
annoying.
it is the context of it, and
Maybe,
because the episode itself calls the song annoying.
sure, sure, yeah,
Because yeah, for me, there's like the only annoying thing about it that is notably more annoying than any of the other Pinky jingles is that it goes on for longer.
sure, but that's just me.
I mean, I understand that, like, yeah, since this show has had an important, you have a history with this show, that you enjoy the music from it a
I
little bit
mean,
more than
it,
I
it's
do.
also it's also I've had more time to like get used to the music of this show,
Yeah, yeah.
so I don't really recall any issues I might have had because music, I like music the second time or third time I listen to it. I usually don't like it the first time.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
onto illusions via the Pony Wiki. So the main location of the episode, Appaloosa, takes its name from the Appaloosa breed of horse. Do you know that horse?
I did not until I just looked at the image that pops up with the link here.
Okay. Fluttershy calling Spike Huffy the Magic Dragon is a reference to the 1963 folk song Puff the Magic Dragon, sung by the folk singing trio Peter, Paul, and Mary. I don't know who they are.
They're a folk singing
Um,
trio.
okay. The scene during the battle at Appaloosa when a buffalo strikes a haystack with an anvil behind it is a reference to a gag from the 1953 Bugs Bunny cartoon Bully for Bugs, in which a bull hits an anvil behind Bugs' door. I mean, that's just classic cartoon stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. At the start of Pinkie Pie's song, she rises out of a clamshell, reminiscent of The Birth of Venus, an iconic Renaissance painting by Sandro Botticelli, and a recurring motif in artistic media.
We
Yeah, like
recently saw a version of this in Coraline with
recently, I mean, that was like
recent within the last 6 months, more by the
6.
time this posts.
I, I don't know. I feel like it was
Within the
longer than
last year.
6.
Within the last
Yes,
year.
yes. That's a better time frame. The Buffalo wore traditional Native American headdresses. The crew worked with a native consultant and did revisions to the episode according to his notes. Yeah, I don't really. That's just a quote straight from Lauren Faust.
Okay.
On she used to answer stuff like this on her Dave in art back in the day. Rainbow Dash poking at her head with her hoof and saying "think, think, think" is a reference to Winnie the Pooh, who shares the same mannerism. I did not catch that. Okay. And then Pinkie Pie's song features honky tonk musical style and instrumentation. I mean, sure.
I okay. I'm a little bit disappointed in this illusion section because this is a Wild West episode, and it is drawing from so many westerns as like movies. I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't dig in a little bit further and find some of the more specific illusions that it's making.
Yeah, maybe they're not as
You
Western savvy.
usually they're like, yeah, because usually this illusions thing is like it's calling out stuff where I'm like, well, yeah, that's like, yeah, the birth of Venus thing is like both a small element that doesn't really have much thematic meaning and like a thing that anyone who knows the birth of Venus is going to immediately catch. But yeah, I think part of it might just be that like so many of these things are such codified tropes that it's a little bit difficult to find whatever
Yeah,
originated it without like looking into it.
yeah. They're just typical things of the trope that the source of them is kind of lost to the mainstream audience.
Yeah,
Unless
yeah.
they deep too doubly, which I don't know how many really want to deep too doubly into the Western genre. IMDb trivia: Buffalo, quote unquote, Buffalo featured in this episode more closely resemble bison. Yep. Friendship report: Twilight learned that with compromise and understanding, sometimes the worst of enemies can become the best of friends. I mean, sure, sure. I mean, hey,
Does
I mean,
Princess Celestia need to take a second look at the Appalachians and what they're doing over there, and if they really should be doing anything over there?
Tyrant
Sure.
Celestia. Hey, that was
Yep.
that's a fan interpretation. Maybe she knew. It's like manifest destiny. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Derby Hooves does not make an appearance in this episode. Good for her.
she escapes unscathed.
Yes. Anything else about this episode before we move on?
I don't think so.
All
It's an
right.
episode.
It's an
It's
episode.
one of the episodes of all time.
Yes. I could watch it, but yeah, it is unfortunate. Before we move on to the next episode, we wanted to take a moment to tell you about where you can find us. We're Binging Barbie Podcast on Instagram and Tumblr, Binging Barbie on Blue Sky and Serialized, and Binging Barbie, a Barbie movie podcast on Letterboxd. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave a 5-star review and go join our Patreon at patreon.com/Binging Barbie Podcast.
So season 1, episode 22 is called A Bird in the Hoof. This was released April 8th, 2011, and this one's written by Charlotte Fullerton with the same
Yes.
production staff.
Yeah. Story of this one is that Princess Celestia visits Ponyville, bringing her pet bird, Philomena, along. And Philomena is clearly experiencing some major health issues. And when the princess is distracted, Fluttershy takes Philomena back to her cottage to try and nurse her back to health using her nursing skills.
her superior nursing skills.
Yes. And Philomena resists all of Fluttershy's attempted cures, quote unquote, and the stress only seems to make things worse. And soldiers show up looking for the bird, and Philomena sneaks off, heading into town. Fluttershy finds her about to dive from the top of a fountain. And as Fluttershy goes to catch her, Philomena bursts into flames and burns into a pile of ash. And then Princess Celestia shows up, and Fluttershy apologizes for what happened. And then a gorgeous bird emerges from the pile of ash, and Princess Celestia explains that Philomena is a phoenix and that there was never anything wrong with her at all.
Yeah, it took me way too long to realize that Philomena was a phoenix. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until she burst into flames. And when she did, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought she was just old. I was like, oh, that's an old parrot.
I don't think this is the best rewatch episode, because
Okay.
once you know Philomena is a phoenix, you're just like, oh, man.
There's
you're just
nothing
waiting.
else.
Yeah, you're waiting for the reveal.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, why couldn't Celestia just say, hey, check out my pet bird Phoenix from the beginning?
It is interesting to see like an episode that is focused on Fluttershy helping animals, which is like her thing. But
Yeah,
as you're alluding to, it's like maybe not the most dynamic story to focus an episode on, because there's a lot of repeated beats. There's, Fluttershy is like, hey, here's a cure. Philomena's like, no, I'm not going to be cured. And then like coughs up some feathers. Then Fluttershy is like, hey, here's a different cure. Philomena's like, oh, that's not going to work either. Coughs up some more feathers.
Yeah, just a bunch of random cures that maybe will help. There's a vet in town. I don't know if we've established this, but there's a vet in town
Okay.
that Fluttershy is not a part of. So
Interesting.
she's doing all of these
Yeah.
cure things, taping feathers to the bird as as like a last resort, because maybe that'll help her out. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's yeah, it's interesting. I about usually with these episodes, I'm like, I understand about where in the episode we are at any point in the episode, and I just kind of go along with it. With this one, I was like, oh, this is taking a little bit. I wonder how much is left in the episode, and then I look at the time code, and we're 10 minutes in. I'm like, oh, okay.
yep,
Guess this is just the rest of the episode.
yep. It's
Uh,
just like a lot of different antics. We get like a Benny Hill chase in there.
yep.
You know,
Yeah. The
yeah, this feels like another one of those 11-minute ones that they had to stretch out.
Yeah. And as opposed to the other 11-minute ones where they stretch them out, where they add other plot lines in here, it's just like, oh, well, I guess we could do another attempted cure that
Yeah,
doesn't
I
work.
mean, yeah, Twilight shows up, and then it's like, Fluttershy, you need to be more assertive. Let's force these things on the bird. Chokes the bird with the pill, makes
Yeah.
it drink watermelon soup. I don't know.
Yeah, but
It's
the tomato soup, I think that would be my
yeah,
guess. But
yeah,
yeah, it's yeah.
yeah, yeah. But what type of pill is it? I don't know. The
Yep,
cure
it's just
all.
take your medicine.
Take
Okay.
your medicine. Drink this
Fluttershy,
soup.
are you like qualified enough to give an animal medicine like that without knowing what is wrong with it?
And so some fans had a joke where maybe Fluttershy's not actually good with animals. She just keeps them and thinks she is. So
I mean, what we see here is that she is not, at the very least, she isn't particularly good at identifying them.
yeah, it's like, oh, here's like this bird that's all sick. I don't know what type of bird it is, but hey, if it's just like all the other ones, it should be
Yeah.
fine. But no, Philomene is just like a phoenix and is just dying naturally, while also
Yeah.
playing a joke on Fluttershy. It seems.
Because it is like, yeah, my immediate assumption with the bird is, oh, the bird is getting old. So when Fluttershy is trying to cure it, it's like, you can't cure age. That's not a thing you can do, Fluttershy. It doesn't matter how much soup you force it to eat, it's still gonna be old.
Yeah,
And
I
then when it
mean,
turns out to be a phoenix, it's like, oh yeah, I guess it is old. It's just needs to be reborn as a younger bird.
yeah. Yeah, not sure why Celestia just brings her random bird with her to town.
I mean, I guess since it's like about to be reborn, maybe Celestia's like, oh, I want to be there when it happens, so I'll bring this along with me.
Yes,
Oh no, here.
yes, or
Okay,
maybe.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you're hinting at something, which I think there is like, oh, I see you are even in that part of the notes. Yeah, Celestia seems to have a lot of. She seems to mysteriously be continually causing problems, and I'm like, even at the start of the show, I was like, okay, I think the show is trying to indicate that she actually knows what's going on and has some degree of like, she is allowing things to happen and putting things in place in order for people to learn lessons.
potentially.
As
Yeah,
this like, she can't just be normal about this stuff. She has to like make everything a test and a lesson that you have to learn. She can't be like, hey, Fluttershy, don't what is the lesson Fluttershy is supposed to learn from this?
I
Don't care about animals.
I don't know. I don't know, but
Don't
yeah,
try to cure animals. Maybe this is Celestia's version of an intervention of like, hey, Fluttershy, you aren't as good at curing animals as you think you are. I'm gonna
yeah.
prove it to you.
It's like the experiment where like they put a child alone in a room with like a cookie, and the experiment to see is whether or not the child will eat the cookie
Yeah.
or something. That's kind of what happens here. She never reveals any information. Like it's a yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this, of course, this episode led to, I think, to the Trollestia theory or meme. Because here Celestia is like trolling others. She
Yeah.
sips the tea but doesn't and causes things. And so that, I think, led to people being like, so what if like Celestia is actually causing all these problems just to troll the others? Like there's nothing actually going on. She's just like, oh, I'll put that bird here and cause chaos and see what happens. Yeah.
uh, Yeah, I mean the show does seem to be implying not that, but that Celestia has at least some hand in certain things. So it it would does not surprise me that that is a theory, that she is sort of intentionally pushing buttons in order to get people to learn lessons, although no one really learns lessons here.
um, I mean, Fluttershy learned not to like steal birds, even if it's for a good cause. I guess. Oh, she learned
Yeah,
that she
is
should
that
ask before stealing. It's like, hey, you should have just asked me, and I would have told you that this is what's going on with the bird.
to which
Yeah.
my question is like, has that been a consistent problem with Fluttershy? It seems like this is more a one-off scenario than something that has happened before. So I don't know why Celestia needs to show up in Ponyville to teach her this lesson.
I mean, I don't know. She just really wanted to see what Fluttershy would do. Um.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe okay. So here we are seeing that we're continuing the celebration that got canceled due to the swarm, the Sentry
Okay.
episode.
So we're calling back to stuff.
I'm guessing they never actually mentioned that, but like I'm noticing, it's like, oh yeah, they're partying at the Sugar Cube corner because that's where it
Yeah.
was originally going to be. I'm wondering if Celestia, learning about the events of the swarm, being like, okay, Fluttershy caused it by taking the thing. I'm just gonna put this thing here, and she does the same thing. I don't think that's actually the case, but I could
Yeah.
theorize all I want.
Yeah, I think it's like this weird thing of Celestia being both this character and also this like wise, powerful force that knows everything and teaches everyone
Hmm.
lessons. It's like, oh, that sometimes it doesn't make sense, but whatever. Yeah, Philomena is here as well.
Yeah,
She's the Phoenix.
I think the Phoenix part looks cool when she's a Phoenix.
Yes, yeah. I mean, she's a Phoenix the whole time, but when she's a younger Phoenix, when
Yes, a
she
healthy
reverts back to
Phoenix.
the yes.
Yes, yeah. It's it's a shame though. I don't think we see Philomena again,
Okay,
and it's like,
that kind of makes sense because I guess this character has been
but it's like
introduced and dealt
it's
with.
Celestia's pet bird, and it's like
Yeah.
Celestia, she's like a sun goddess, and it makes sense to have like a burning phoenix as a pet.
Oh,
But
that's
man,
true.
man, do we not see the Philomela again, and that makes me sad because that's just a cool concept. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm trying to
Twi-
think. There aren't a
Twilight's
ton of
here.
like. Oh yeah, Twilight. She tries to force a bird to eat medicine, or does
Yeah,
force a bird to eat medicine.
yep. Rainbow Dash is trying to, you know, distract the royal guards while also wondering if she could get a job.
Yeah,
Applejack just wants to eat food, but it's too polite to understand what's going on.
yeah. That it's interesting, the whole like party and how everyone is nervous about this, and yeah. Since that's not the focus of the episode, it doesn't really get much attention.
Hmm. Yep, Rarity, you know, she's wearing her gala
Yes.
dress to this event, not wanting to get her dirty. Which there is this shot in the beginning of the episode where Fluttershy is like looking around the room, panicking. It's like, oh, I'm late for something. And there's a shot where she's at a closet and like pushes aside dresses. Those are the gala dresses the others have.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know why they're at Fluttershy's cottage. I think they just need like dress assets, so they put them there. But
Yeah, yeah.
still, yeah. And Pinkie Pie's extra crazy today,
Yep.
doing whatever she's doing. She's
Uh,
the one that Twilight should be worried about, not Fluttershy.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know why Fluttershy is just checking in on. Sorry, why Twilight's checking in on Fluttershy. It's like, oh, you gotta be good, make a good impression. Meanwhile, Pinkie Pie is throwing pie in her face, eating the chocolate fondue thing. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. This is a tough episode to talk about because there isn't a lot of there. Like the
No,
message of the episode isn't even really clear either.
yeah,
It's just like,
uh,
oh,
it's there for like fun little gags, but as a
yeah,
whole, I don't think you could really take a deep. Well, you could, but like it's not going to reflect you as much. I don't think.
yeah, yeah,
On to some animation errors.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, you see what's going on here.
The first one, I don't really. I'm not seeing.
Look at Twilight.
Oh, does she not have a horn, or her horn is behind her ear?
Yeah, her ear is like in the middle of her forehead.
And her horn is where her ear should be. Yep.
Yep. That's natural. The second image is what we call a smear frame, but this is just a really silly one.
Yeah, it looks a bit like Fluttershy's face is melting.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
like that genre of horror of like, what if someone opened their mouth a little bit too wide?
Ooh.
Go, oh yeah, look, that person is opening their mouth a little too wide. That is unsettling, but not so unsettling as to be. Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is Ouija Origin of Evil, which is also fascinating as a toy movie, because it is, as far as I'm aware, one of the few toy movies that depicts the toy in question as like dangerous and harmful. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Interesting movie.
Performances. Jason Thesian, I guess, voiced a royal guard in this.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Everyone else is here. Nicole Oliver is Princess Celestia. We haven't seen much Celestia.
No, yeah, she just
Yeah.
kind of shows up every once in a while.
Kind of shows up, acts a little mysterious. It's like, oh, Twilight, what did you learn today?
Orchestrates grand message or like lesson learning plans for people that make absolutely no sense. Yep.
Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Who's to say?
I
Who's
mean,
to say?
I think the implication, at least sometimes, is that she has orchestrated things,
Mm-hmm.
or that she is at least aware of goings on that she is pretending not to be aware of.
On to illusions via the Pony Wiki. So the episode's title is a play on the phrase, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Two in the bush? I don't know.
I oh wait, no, that doesn't make sense. That's a different phrase.
Yes.
But yes.
The scene with Angel holding a pocket watch references Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, in which one of the characters is a white rabbit that carries a pocket watch and is also running somewhere due to being late. In addition, Fluttershy's remark, "I'm late for a very important date," is a quote from Disney's 1951 film adaptation. Yep.
I caught that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Fluttershy,
difficult one to catch.
Yep. Fluttershy stresses over how she looks and what to wear, and looks through a rack of dresses which carries the grand. Yeah. The ones that's what I mentioned.
Yep.
When Twilight imagines Fluttershy being thrown in a dungeon, it is the same dungeon in the Diamond Dogs episode, A Dog and Pony Show. Yep. The scene where the ponies pursue Philomena is accompanied by sound-like music by Yakety Sax, made famous by the Benny Hill music show. The chase scene.
Yeah.
Yep. The scene where Fluttershy attempts to feed birdseed to Philomena was storyboarded to look like a talk show. Okay. And Philomena's... okay. Okay. And Philomena's birdseed eating gag was styled after similar gags from Roadrunner Looney Tunes cartoons. Okay.
I think the animators were maybe having a difficult time coming up with ways to make all of the various things look visually distinct from each other.
I guess now that I picture it, yes, it kind of looks like that. Okay. Fluttershy, thinking Philomena has been fooled, looks into the camera with a smirk and declares, "Always works," a reference to Billy D. Williams' famous tagline in the old Colt 41 malt liquor commercials in the 1980s. I don't know. Okay. I've not seen those commercials. I have to look that up. Hummingway, Fluttershy's hummingbird, is a play on the surname Hemingway.
Yep.
That's stupid. Anyway, Fluttershy hums the My Little Pony theme song in this episode again. Yep, that's a thing to do. IMDb trivia, Friendship report, Fluttershy learned not to jump right to conclusions without asking for advice.
She did? What advice?
Sure.
Whose advice was she supposed to ask?
Celestia's. It's like, hey, what's wrong with the bird?
That's not advice, that's just a question.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that is the theme. Anyway, Derpy Hooves does not make an appearance this week. Oh man.
Oh yeah, 2 episodes without her.
What are we gonna do? Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
next episode people will have to
Maybe.
tune in and hear.
Yes. Tune in and hear. Yes. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening, and make sure to follow us on your podcast platform of choice and all of our social media links. We are currently in the middle of a bonus miniseries on the Toy Story movies, so be sure to check back for new episodes on that on the 1st, 11th, and 21st of each month. And we will be back next week to talk about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 1 episodes 23 and 24. And until then, be sure to take your medicine.
I couldn't come up with anything more clever than that.
Yeah. 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 All right. Bye.
Bye, ponies.
Bye.
Shooby-doo, shoop, shooby-doo.